Welcome to Daily Art Day number 2846. I started a new drawing. This is going to be Pocahontas. I only had about 5 or 10 minutes to quickly sketch in the placement of her on the page. So it's super rough right now. I actually changed paper. I went to the Strathmore Bristol Smooth Surface. It says it's only for ink, but you can put pencil and charcoal on it just fine. Done it before, works great. That's a very important concern because she has a very smooth face. I wanted to keep it as smooth as possible and not have to deal with all the little interstices that are part of the paper, having to fill those in. But that's not what I want to talk about today. What I want to talk about is art ritual. What is your art ritual? Now, this idea really struck me, and I have to give you a little bit of backstory on this right away. Now, I do have what's called artist perspectives. Basically, I'm looking at books, reading books, not just looking at them, such as Superhuman by Dave Asprey, How to Fail at Almost Everything and Still Win Big by Scott Adams. He's the artist for Dilbert. And now Twyla Tharp, The Creative Habit. I don't have artist perspectives on these books yet. I have 2 artist perspectives up. One of them is on Peak by Anders Ericsson, super important, and then The Art Spirit by Robert Henri. Oh, thank you, Belle, for letting me know that I need to keep moving. Appreciate that. Now, this book here is all about getting your anti-aging health, taking your health even beyond just being normally healthy. So, and this is why I call them artist perspectives. I may or may not do an artist perspective on this because it's how can an artist use this book to make their art better in some way, right? It's basically about health, so I have to take an artist perspective on it. Get it? Okay, play on words. Hopefully that works out well. So that resonated really well with me. Went through the whole book, actually made tons and tons of notes on it, and I'm going through it again. I actually write in the book, which my wife hates. But it's cool. Now, I was reading this book, and I got about that far before I switched to The Creative Habit by Twyla Tharp. Now, this book is good. It just hasn't really resonated with me all that well. It has some really good wisdom in it for, a creative habit, basically systems rather than goals, this kind of thing. But I don't know, it just wasn't resonating. So I started reading this, Twyla Tharp, The Creative Habit, and this book just, resonates with me so well. I'm just a few pages into it, and I'm already marking up everything like crazy. It's absolutely wonderful. And the one thing that I want to talk to you about, you can see my socked feet, yeah. The one thing I want to talk to you about here is this wonderful passage. She's talking about basically her habit, but she calls it a ritual. Now, essentially those words mean just about exactly the same. I don't know the etymology of the words. I have to look them up, really. But essentially, a ritual and a habit are similar. But the word ritual just resonates with, my art form, which is emotional, right? And it's closer to something spiritual, something sacred. So ritual just really means a lot to me, more than just, I have an art habit. Now I have an art ritual. It's closer to my heart now. It's almost a religious experience in this way. She talks about a friend of hers, very hard-boiled pragmatist, she calls him, with no spiritual bones in his body. But he starts each morning with a yoga session, and he starts that session with the lighting of a candle. And that simple lighting the candle makes his experience into this kind of ritual. It goes beyond just, I have a habit of brushing my teeth every morning or doing X, Y, and Z or exercising. But as soon as you light the candle, it really takes it beyond. this idea of, oh, it's just something I do, into this is who I am, this is my identity. And I just really love that. I mean, I'm 21 pages into the book, and I'm thinking about my daily art ritual. And this is what I want to go over real quick. And heck, I don't even need my notes on this because I do it so often. I do this morning ritual so often, I know it by heart now. So here's what I do. I get up in the morning, I feed my cats. There's one there. I feed my cats, I make my tea, I come back here and I sit down and I fill out my protocol. This is my protocol for the day, things that I want to complete that I do every day. And these are actually built from the biggest goals that I have. I know if I complete these every single day, I will reach these goals. But the most important part I want to talk to you about this is what in Optimize I call Big 3 times 2. And your soul goals. So my soul goal right now, fully realized vision in a body of work, teach and learn, and fit and in love at 100. I want to be a centennial. And I remind myself every single day, every single morning, this is why I'm getting up at 3:30 in the morning. This is why I get the best amount of quality sleep I can get. This is why I work out every day. This is why I do everything I do is trying to reach this. And that reminder is so important. That's part of my ritual. And then I do energy, artwork, love, my identity, virtues, and behaviors for each, which kind of breaks that down into more specifics for each of these categories, these columns kind of thing. And then after I do that, I sit here on my mat, very simple, with my cats. Normally, they're all over me. And I meditate. I meditate for about 10 minutes, 11 minutes, because heroes do more, right? And then after that, I go for usually a jog. I can't jog right now, but I go for a walk. No matter the weather, cold, rainy, windy, hailstorm, snowing, ice, I don't care. I'm doing my walk. And it's my art ritual. And by the time I get back in, my mind, my body, my spirit, everything is ready for me to begin my day and to really just knock it out of the park and be the best I can be. And I'm even experimenting with lighting candles in the morning as kind of a significant transition from the habit part of my morning, the ritual part of my morning, into the sacred, the spiritual art practice, the ritual art practice that I do every morning. So that's my question to you. What is your art ritual? How can you make art making your identity? How can you bring it closer to your heart, closer to your being? So on those super hard days when you don't feel like it, you don't have enough time, or all kinds of challenges are happening, you can still show up because it's not just something you do. It's a part of you. How or what is your art ritual? Keep creating. See you next video.